thing up. This is meeting 13 of the Shadow Society Book Club, and we have officially finished the trilogy, the first three of the Red Rising series, including now Morning Star. And oh God, where to even begin? It's so
Can I
good.
just say that I, at one point, put the book down and refused to pick it back up?
At
Can
which
we
point?
say
Because
can
you
we say
thought
it's when
Severo was
Cassius
dead?
had his
When we thought
redemption?
Severo was dead,
Oh, I
Yeah.
never thought Severo was dead.
I
Nah,
I
me neither.
literally screamed and I put the book down and I texted mom and I said, I'm not finishing this fucking book.
That's funny because I texted mom and said I don't think he's dead.
I also said that. I said this better be what was it I said? This better be a scam or a ploy or whatever my words were.
I actually literally called exactly how it happened too, with him taking the high mid whatever it's called.
hmm
I said that I texted mom that and I said the exact thing that happened. I was like, there's no way. He's not dead. Can't happen.
Yeah, I wasn't I didn't think so either. There's just no way. It was too good. Um all right. So I have lots to say, but let's start right at the beginning of three. So obviously we lost Ragnar, and I almost said Pax because now that name's in my head. We lost Ragnar. Um, let's start with one. Severo and Victor are interested in each other. So, oh, his notes. He's
Yeah.
already
Where
he's
did
already
that come
calling it.
from?
Uh,
Like it was randomly like, oh, I saw them sneaking into her room or her sneaking into his room. Like, but there was no lead up to it. I feel like
Yeah.
that was really out of left field.
yeah, a little
A
odd.
lot happened, I guess, while he was locked away in a jail cell on the ground.
Yeah,
No, because she
Oh
was
no,
locked up
because she was there
too.
too. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
where
don't
did
know.
that come from?
There's like little mentions, like, but very small. So then when it was like that whole big thing to the point of them getting married, I'm like, wait, what?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And what
think
just happened?
yeah, we're just left to assume a bunch of things, which is a little bit silly, but because it's not from his perspective, I guess we only get what Darrow sees. But I think, I guess my only assumption is that she sees him differently now. They come out, obviously, she's been way broken, but also like you come out and who's holding things down while Darrow's been under the dining room table. But um, Severo, and he's taken like this leadership role. He's still like his creepy little self, but he's also like kind of holding it down in his own way. So maybe it was enough for her to be like, okay. Um, Either way, yeah, everybody's right. Nobody saw it coming. It was a little bit weird. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, oh yeah. So 37 is crazy. So chapter 37, Cassius is still alive and shares that the Jackal has 500 megatons of nukes. First of all, I'm almost I think I expected more out of the Obsidians. I think I wanted them to be obviously that whole raid is pretty awesome where he shoots himself onto the ship in a drill and then is like backed by these monstrous women and just like drives his way through uh just a crazy the whole scene is amazing. Um I didn't think we'd see the end of Rogue, honestly. I'm kind of I as an overall summary, I have no idea where four is gonna go. I have no idea now, like who's still gonna be around.
Well, it's
We
like
can,
10 years in the future.
that's what I hear, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
like really technical. Um, so yeah, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but just crazy. I'm trying to make sure I don't jump too fast.
No, jump away. Jump away. We can hip
Jump.
hop.
Yeah,
We can
all of us
Okay.
here have,
hopscotch.
well, except for maybe Kelsey, have ADHD. So
Sometimes.
That's so
Yeah.
true. Um, okay, so I'm trying to play it all back in my head because I crushed it all super fast, and then unfortunately we had to miss meetings. So, um, all right, so we get Sephi. Is that how we pronounce her name? Sephi, Sefi.
Mhm.
And
Which
she
funny
comes in.
story? There
Yeah.
was a Sephi that I went to high school with,
Oh, really?
and There was twins. They were guys, Jacob and Sephi, and
Oh,
they were it's like I think it was like a Jewish name or something like that. But like,
hmm.
yeah. So what did they said when they said her name was Sephi? I like pictured a dude instinctually because that's what I
Right.
identified the name with, and then it's a chick. So that's cool.
I mean, she sounds pretty manly,
He's tough, that's
She's
for sure. Yeah.
she's super hardcore.
very masculine.
Yeah.
I love I love that they all have to eat mushrooms before they go into battle.
I do too.
He's like, you want some? And everybody's like, are you nuts? And they're like, yeah, actually. Yeah, oh, yeah. Um, so that whole thing was awesome. Um, okay, so I guess I didn't see the whole like stringing Cassius up scene coming at all. That was fun for me. But I thought that Darrow might have been more involved, and instead he was like, "Oh, I get to sit back and watch this." Had no idea our boy Severo was gonna just string himself up and take a backflip. Um, that whole scene was kind of amazing, and
Deborah's a
like, what
badass.
a are you crushing right now?
I think I'm in love with him, honestly.
Um, so yeah, love that, and I love the way they were able to sort of like regain control in all the chaos by just like, yeah, hey, I'm Aries. By the way, I also am a murderer. Backflip, bah, uh, and have to let Sephi cut him down, which is just it was just so good. It the whole time I'm like I was talking to my book the whole time. Um, okay, I should probably organize my thoughts better and maybe organize us better. So, anybody have a favorite moment or a moment that was like WTF? Like, is there anything that you were pissed about or anything that you're just like wildly in love with right now?
All the
You've already,
above.
yeah, I was gonna say you hit on my two already, so or we hit on my two already.
That was you only two.
I mean, those are my
So
two big
many.
ones. My
Listen,
like badass was his backflip into a neck snap almost.
yes. Which I
And
think
then
that like parallels when Darrow let Tactus whip him. Like he whipped Tactus and then let him whip him. Was it Tactus
mm,
or Pax or whoever whipped it? Somebody whipped him.
I think it was
He was whipped.
Tactus.
It was that whole thing. So I think that was like Severo like paying homage to that type of
Mm,
thing to show leadership in the right direction where he had been so squirrely, going crazy. So I think that
But
was a really nice
I
comparison.
think that also shows though that I think Darrow is his moral compass.
Hmm.
Like he is Severo's moral compass.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was very lost without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And unfortunately, it was just like we said last time, it was a little too easy for him to just like give up control. But we're seeing a bunch, there's a couple of things that are just a little bit too natural for my taste, but still really amazing. I think so. I'm obviously still annoyed that Mustang is still around. Um,
Can I just say that at the very end, as I was reading it, I was like, I know Nick is so pissed about this
Pissed
right
off.
now.
I was pissed.
I'm like
I was
reading it,
like,
I'm like, he hates this. I know it.
As soon as
yeah,
she said she had a surprise, I was like, "Oh, this bitch has a kid."
yep,
Yep.
yeah, I called it. Yeah, I was like,
That
ah,
kind of ruined
son
That
it
of a
for me
bitch.
too.
yeah, that was not
Oh, it's
mm-mm,
so lame.
Mm-mm.
It's just lame. It's just so high school. It's cute. I get it. Whatever. So, um, for a guy who wrote an epic trilogy, a sci-fi trilogy, like, okay, fine, I get it. But yeah, I definitely was like, okay. But he got me. He did, he got me. I was like, all right. Didn't see it coming. How cute. His name is Tax. All right. Um, not my favorite. Yeah. So yeah, it just I feel like he softened her up too much to get to where we got to at the end of this third book because for so long she had been hopping all over the place and was so mysterious and like you never quite knew which way she was going to turn and then just like all of a sudden at part 3 she's just like, "Oh, I'm here." And just everything is going to work out. Um
Because she had his kid and didn't have a choice in the matter. She's like, "Well,
I
Either
mean,
I'm
I
a
guess,
single
right?
mom or I gotta, you know,
Right. But I think part of the
come to
reason
terms
it
with it.
feels so disjointed is what Lauren had mentioned, I think like in our one of our first episodes, is that just male writers are not the best at writing
I
really
immediately thought that too.
great
Emotional.
depth for female characters.
Yeah.
They don't, because you just can't understand
We
like
don't
the
get it. Yeah.
rage of like
No, y'all don't.
this is my child, or this is
Right.
my, even like for pets or for friends or for anything, like that instinct, that maternal instinct carries over to whatever it is that you're attached to, and you go into mama bear mode for it. And I think that
Yeah.
that's something that's really hard to convey, A, in literature,
Sure.
without making the woman sound crazy, and B, from a male perspective, unless he has people who is, either really strong female characters in his life to
Mhm.
glean from, or weighing in and helping to write that. So I think he's done a beautiful job so far, but it's just like there's not that. It's just like with the whole Victra and Severo thing. Like there's so much behind the scenes we haven't seen from the female
Yeah.
characters.
I think a lot of that, and get off so off topic here. I think a lot of that though is that the human experience from a woman's perspective is so vastly different from a male perspective.
Yeah.
There
Right.
are so many instances in life where we have to fight for everything that we have to fight for in a way that men just don't, and the way that it affects you emotionally and the way you have to suppress a lot of that or are allowed to express those things. And it's just, I feel like there's just a lot more emotional struggle as the fair gender.
For
Men
sure.
just can't.
So as a guy who had no clue for a really long time and then got married and then had a daughter and now has a granddaughter, I would say that I'm currently at a 23% understanding of the female race. And so I 100% agree with you. I think that we probably could have, but again, he's writing from Darrow's perspective the entire time. So it's not like
Yeah.
we don't get an opportunity to get anything except surface. And most of the time he's doing his best, especially in the last half of this book, to focus strictly on the plan. And like he's been trying to keep her at arm's length the whole time because he's like, I don't really know where we're at. And then finally, like last battle scene, he like pulls her in, gives her a big kiss, and he's like, okay, make sure you make it. And she goes, you too, and he has no idea. Like, it'd be really nice because I don't want to do this by myself. But she also obviously had the Telemanuses the entire time, right? They're like, hey, if he dies, we got you. We'll make sure we protect this. And it explains why they have like
Pulled
obviously
away.
almost already sort of adopted Pax because now
Mm.
like they're just running to her aid at every turn because like they don't want the same thing for her. So yeah, I think maybe I'd hate her less. I don't hate her. Maybe I'd dislike her less if we had more insight to her. But because we don't, I'm like, this is kind
Yeah.
of dorky. Um,
Yeah, because you have to
so
take into like editing at some point, because otherwise the
yeah,
book's going to
true.
be 3,000 pages long. And
Yeah. I'm already like rushing through each page. Like, what's next? What's next? So yeah, I'd have got annoyed by that too. You're absolutely right. I okay. So Aja finally bites the bullet and has to fight all three of these cats. Darrow one-handed, hilarious, and then Cassius and Mustang at the same time, and she's still wrecking people, just wrecking people. I didn't want her to die. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's a favorite of mine. I want to say that I think it's cool that he's been very inclusive in his writing. Like we got strong female characters, we got black characters, we got people of other races and stuff, and it was like he had no problem just being like, yeah, and they're badass. So I love that. The whole time I was like, oh yeah, cool, this is great. Um, but yeah, sad to see her go. Not gonna lie, like.
Rest in pieces.
There was no way she was dying on the ice in the ice, right?
No.
She was definitely getting off of that. And then yeah, I think I almost feel like it still wasn't quite good enough. Even with the revival of Severo and everything, I feel like her death needed something even more honorable. But to let her watch Octavia die and then to have her turn around and like just tear people apart for a little while before they finally got the best of her was pretty cool. It
Do
was
we
pretty cool.
think that if Darrow hadn't been, um, deconstructed as a human being and spent his year under the dining room table and lost the hand and all the things, if he was at true Darrow's strength, do we think that it would have taken all three of them to take Aja down? Or do we think
Yes.
that he would have had a fighting chance to do so by himself?
I'd like to think that um, anybody who could take Ragnar um, was probably going to beat Darrow too. Um, no matter how good he got, she was always going to be Lauren's best student, and just so militant in mind that I think that there was no way. Like she knew what she was, and she was always going to like be constantly training and constantly working to like always be the best. And I don't think I no that which is why like I was sad to see her go, because I think that she was just going to be so brutal the whole time. Like I want to see her 10 years from now too, and be like, man, I've still been fighting this chick, and it's crazy. Um, but she went. Um, the whole scene where we also get the best of the jackal and which
Uh,
which
I'm mad
okay.
that he's dead.
I know he was great.
I really wanted to see him 10 years in the future.
How do you feel about like the suddenly like we were able to get everybody at the exact same time?
Nice, neat little bows are not my, I don't like them.
Agreed.
It's my one gripe with fantasy novels is like
Yeah.
once you get to a stopping point in the series or at the end of a series, it always has a nice, neat little bow on it, and I hate that.
Hmm.
POG.
So
Don't
so
get me
yeah,
started on Team
I
feel
Dynamite.
know. We've already had that.
I feel the same way. It was like just too perfect all of a sudden. We couldn't get anybody together. You certainly weren't going to get the jackal. How did anybody see that he had all the nukes?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of obvious that
yeah.
Darrow was bluffing about
Oh,
or
100%.
we're not there yet. We're not at that part. Just you
No,
just mean
yeah,
in the
but we
initial
actually kind of skipped that
discovery.
part. So yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
that's okay.
Yeah.
He definitely played that whole conversation super well.
I
Um,
expected more damage from them, to be
Mhm.
honest. Like, I really expected it to be, I mean, not to say that millions
Uprooting.
didn't die, but like
It's
all
only
the
four
moon being
cities.
blown the fuck up or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But what was her name? So the lady with her finger on the trigger was what was her name? Anyway,
His
Lilith.
little,
Lilith,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how funny that they were like, yeah, she's over here. And just like all of space took aim at her and just blew her out of the sky
Hmm.
before she could get off more than four. Seems like that button doesn't work very fast. Like maybe there's a recharge system.
I would have liked to see more of her. Like, I feel like the dynamic, and again, we're seeing everything from Darrow's perspective, but I feel like that character could have caused and wreaked a lot of havoc in
Yeah.
for the Jackal. And I feel
Right.
like it was a missed opportunity in the writing to not expand on her character some more.
Right.
Even from the first book, because she was the one they found in the snow
Mhm.
when
With
they,
the bones.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's just been an undervalued character,
Yeah.
underrated for sure. Like, there's more potential there.
Yeah. I definitely think she
Oh,
could have
Mm.
been developed more.
wait, I
Yes.
just remembered my favorite line.
Okay.
Okay. My name is Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. I
I
almost
laughed so hard.
screenshot it and put it in the chat.
I put in the GIF from it in the chat, but like
I died.
I cackled out loud.
I
Same.
did too.
It was great. I was like, oh, I love it. I love
I
that.
did too.
That's intentional. You can tell.
Yep.
Pierce has to be a millennial. Uh,
So good. Um, so they allude to the idea that wait, I don't want to go too far to the end. So
go for it.
we get so convincing, right? He always manages to like say the right thing at the right time to get whoever he needs on his side. Um, so they, gosh, I'm trying to put it all back together. They get the ships that they need by lying about the
Oh,
nukes, and we get to see like this whole thing with Rogue. Um, like to be in the same room with that dude and still have him go, "Oh, he's my friend. I wish things had been different." And like
I'm gonna sidetrack you for 1 second. Can I just
do it.
make a point that that's exactly what you wanted him to do with Cassia?
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Like kill them
No.
all, you bastard. The whole idea was like you were gonna get totally recreated, and then you were gonna go befriend all these people to get where you needed to go, and then murder them all. And now we're ball buddies, and the world is soft
Well,
and sweet.
yeah.
I mean,
But
was the MO really to murder them all, or just
yes.
to incite change?
Well, no, he was literally
It
going to
was to
go in
murder
and
them
assault
all.
everybody for killing his wife. They were all to blame for EO, right? So he was like, screw him. I'm killing all these
I,
people. He said it when
But
he
I
graduated. He said it while he was in class. Like, and even afterwards, he was still talking like, man, but then he softens up. Uh,
I
you
so,
think
know
that
how
just
many
goes
times
to
that all of us probably have said, "I'm going to kill somebody."
oh,
at
so
least
many.
once every hour.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can say it all you want to, but in reality, it's
Yeah.
not the most, even in a dystopian, futuristic world, it's not going to be the best option always.
I think that
Uh,
it I think that
Simmer
it
down.
provokes the thought of like what time does, what
Yeah.
initial emotions, and then time to really think things through and allow our emotions not to better us and use logic.
mhm.
I like that he ended up not being a slaughtering asshole.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm still
For the
here for
most
the
part.
slaughter, but
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's what
So
Sevro's for.
so true. So true. I I'm disappointed that we're going to do a 10-year jump and not hear any of Severo's response to finding out that Darrow's a dad and has this kid named Pax all conveniently. Like all the shit he's talking right now is going to be amazing, and we have to skip it all.
I feel like based
Unless we
off
get
of,
flashbacks.
oh, that'd be great.
Fair.
I was gonna
Which
say, I feel like based off Lauren's newfound obsession with Severo and the hard eyes, I feel like he has to, well, it can't, well, in the, maybe, never mind, but he's too old now, but like in the time jump books, in the later part of the series, he could be portrayed by, oh, and I brain fart. What's his name from Scream?
Yes. You're
Mm-hmm.
either talking about Matthew Lillard
Skeet
or Skeet
Ulrich.
Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich, that's his name.
I'm happy with either of those.
Yeah. Yeah, either would work, honestly. I feel like that's a great choice for the persona.
interesting.
My favorite horror movie, by the way.
Is
How
it?
I could have
Yes.
guessed that. Yeah.
It's my favorite franchise of all time. I watch Scream once a week.
Yeah, I thought it was a comedy when I first saw it, so
I still think so.
I'm not gonna lie, because I couldn't tell which one was Scream and which one was the
Yeah, I still
scary
think so.
movie. I was watching Scream and I was like, it's a scary movie.
It's so good. I love it.
It's great.
It makes fun of horror movies. It's great.
It does. It does.
It
It's
doesn't
great.
take itself seriously, which is why it's so great.
It is great.
Scream. I didn't know that. Okay. So, what am I leaving out? There's obviously so much that happens.
Uncle Narwhal. Uncle
Guys.
Narwhal.
What's his name? I don't know what
Narrow.
his name is. Narwhal. He dies. That upset me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That upset me because I feel like he was so beloved by the Reds that were there. He had become the symbol to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like he would have come in clutch in the future, once everything gets settled with the rebuild.
Yeah, I
We
wonder
did
who's
need.
gonna go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say, I wonder who's gonna lead the Pit Vipers now.
Mm. Mm. What was the name of the other kid though? What was the name they picked up? The kid they picked up. I'm so bad with the names. Anyway,
Just make it up. That's what I do.
yeah, Narwhal. It's
No, obviously.
um yeah, I think the uncle makes a lot of sense though. We needed somebody that was gonna really like cause a stir when he died, and it couldn't be any of the big four.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah, someone
yeah,
had to die.
I kind of was just waiting for who it was gonna be. I kind of thought Jackal was gonna try to pull Darrow's mom. I kept thinking he was going to take it even closer, and they were going to get a hold of his mom, and then it was going to be this whole like super personal thing. But um, I don't think truly Darrow couldn't take any more like loss. I think he would have either gone total batshit crazy, which would have made the book turn the way I was thinking it was going to go anyway, or he just would have fallen
Like
apart.
like full Anakin.
Yeah, like full Anakin. Yeah.
I mean, he
Um,
was missing an arm.
There's-
Or his hand.
The parallels
He was missing his
are.
arm.
I
Amazing.
definitely the quote "I am your father" definitely crossed my mind as his arm was getting cut off, though.
Yeah, same.
That or Jamie Lannister.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Mm.
That's really good.
So,
All right.
what did we
Yeah,
think
go.
about Roke's death?
Wasn't enough.
No.
Wasn't enough. This whole like,
I
oh yeah,
I think that it
funeral.
wasn't surprising.
Yeah, no, it wasn't surprising. I don't think there was much else that could have happened with him, though.
He was too much of a dark romantic soul, I guess, for less lack of a better word, to
He
not
was a tortured soul,
either
his poetic
yeah,
soul.
to either not slit his own throat or
Yeah.
I don't know, die in a similar fashion.
Yeah, for sure.
There. Yeah, I didn't miss him at all. Yeah, again, too much. He got too much grace in my opinion, but whatever. So, yeah, that was great. The whole like getting to him and them being able to just like they finally convinced some blue to be like, yeah, just come in, and then they just walk in.
I
Like,
love that.
hi, we're here to murder you now.
I think it's those little bits in the books that like make the books though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
fair.
bye Felicias and the just,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, it's good. All right, so what else have we missed? We got uh Cassius goes from how about the whiskeys while watching the Rogue's old
fucking
videos from
bromance. I can't with the bromance.
And at that part, I was like,
Oh, I
dang,
loved
Lauren's
it.
hating this so much right now.
I so
I
much. I'm just like,
loved
no.
that.
No.
That was so great.
Mm-mm.
That was so
I
He
knew you were
great.
probably pissed.
literally gutted him and left him in the mud for dead,
Yeah.
and he's forgiving him with a montage of flashbacks to the worst part of their friendship and everything leading up to being stabbed in the gut and having whiskeys together. No.
Here's the problem
No.
I've
If
had the
these
whole
were
time.
women,
The whole
I mean, I feel like
time.
that's most women's lifelong friendships for the women that you befriended when you were like middle school or high school, and then like you're in
Yeah,
your
but
20s and 30s, and you're like, oh my
um,
God, do you remember?
I feel like there would have been some slaps and some hair pulls at the very least.
Chair throwing is more of your speed.
This has always irked me for the whole series. He knew Cassius for like a whole day before they get tossed into these like kill or be killed scenarios. He just happens, it doesn't even just happen. They knew from the like all the predators knew that those two were gonna like link up and be besties. So they're like, let's make him kill his brother. Ha 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 ha. And the whole time, like at no point Cassius can go, well, you didn't have a choice because he was going to try to kill you otherwise. What are they going to do? Like shake hands and walk out? It was going to be a cool thing. He
Darrow
had to
tried
kill your
that.
brother. He
Yeah.
had to kill your brother. It wasn't like there was no choice. He just done. And again, same time, like you have to let that shit go at some point. You have to be like,
I
hey,
agree,
you
but
fucking
you
like
don't
you didn't
have
have a choice. You have to
you
start
don't
this
have to
shit.
let that shit go when you get gutted, though.
No.
I'm mad that Darrow forgave him, not the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I think that if it
Petty.
was from Cassius' perspective, the viewpoint would be different. I think that you'd actually be a Cassius fan because he's trying to honor his family. And then he's, Mustang is toying with his emotions as well. And then his supposed best friend from his schoolboy days is now like trying to has been lying to him about who he is and is trying to overthrow everything he knows to be his stability. And he's like, I don't disagree with you necessarily, but also this is what I have to do because of my family.
I agree with all that. I don't dislike Cassius in any way, shape, or form. I think that Cassius, in his own way, had his own battles that were just as difficult as Darrow's throughout the story. The fact that they just romance it up at the end, I can't. That nice, neat little bow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, if it's 10 years in the future, then like who is, I feel like all the like key bad people, quote unquote,
Yeah.
are like gone.
Who's
So
the bad
who's,
guy?
yeah. Because
Well,
obviously there's like 4
who's our
more books,
enemy?
so
I think it's
Axe is
probably the
only like
people.
12.
I
It's
feel like there's
probably
got to
the
be
general
more than
public.
just. I feel like it's got to be like more than that broad of a stroke. Like I feel
I
like
don't
you
think
have to
so.
have a villain.
I don't think so because there was that scene where they were going to vote on something,
What if the Obsidians turn
right?
around?
Oh, I
What if
don't
the
think we've seen the
Obsidians?
end of that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Somebody's gonna get pissed off about something.
but
So
what
the
about
the title of the fifth book is The Dark Ages. I mean,
what about the grandson that Cassius took?
yeah.
Right, because how old is he now? Like 9, 10?
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, so he's going to
So
be
he'll
these
be an
guys'
adult.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cassius kind of like took him like he was gonna like
Prune him.
be his like dad.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, so
Interesting.
Lysanders are Luke
Lysander.
Skywalker.
There you go.
Yeah, he'll be at the age of going into the academy at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna have to go find Yoda and train to be a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Cassius was trained enough to be. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. I don't know.
Because I mean, he
I don't know.
seemed kind of like chill at the end, but it's like you just killed his grandma,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just
And
murdered
took
her,
over
took over
But-
everything. So
the world, overthrew the government.
He stood up, but he stood up. I mean, he has a voice. He's very secure in his ideals for a child.
Yeah.
You know,
I see a mini
because-
Mustang.
Well, because when they were all trying to vote, he was like, "No, she is this," and he's like, "You need to help." Oh, thank you. Oh, this looks fun. Thanks. I have food.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm excited. So I think that he's very secure in himself, and I think that if Cassius stays down the quote good guy path, that I think he's going to help raise him on the right track.
Mm.
Do you think he will, or do you think Mustang and Dara will?
No, I think Cassius. I think that
I think he'll stay with Cassius.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay with Cassius, and I think Cassius is probably going to be like, peace out, guys, and Mustang and Darrow are not going to want to, like, I think everyone's kind of going to go their separate ways, you know, Victra and Severo, whatever, they're going to try and do family life, I think.
Maybe there's like an event that brings them all back together in 10 years or whatever.
Oh, they're all hanging out on their own farms, just doing cute stuff, and all of a sudden it's like they have to Voltron back together.
Maybe because remember the guys in the what is it, the rim, the outer rim? They like made the little pact and then he ended up blowing up their depot or whatever. Maybe that's kind of the new they kind of betrayed them.
They did say it
Blew
would
up
take a
there.
decade to fix it.
They did say that.
Where's
Maybe.
Quicksilver in all this?
Chilling. Yeah,
Did
he
he
never
die,
really.
or is he alive?
He's
No, I
alive.
don't think
He's alive.
because he was never battle ready, so he was just like the dude with the money on the outside. So he just,
Right.
yeah, we never really see
Pulling
him.
strings.
He just talked his way out of dying, and then was like, "Okay, bye."
It was a happy dance.
That's so good.
Oh, all right. What have we missed? The tribute to Pax is cute. Um,
So how old is the son at the end then?
I mean, he's got to be like a year and a half, right? Because she was pregnant.
right?
How much time has passed from when he gets out of the box with the jackal to the end of the book?
Who fucking knows?
I don't remember if there's like any like
Less than a year?
small time jumps. I don't remember if there was any.
Yeah, I mean it's a baby because the baby was carrying. They were carrying the baby. Like his mom was carrying the baby, right?
So we're saying maybe like 2 or 3 at most.
That's what I was
less
thinking.
than that.
I'm
I'd
trying
say
to read it right now.
I'd say under 2 probably.
Right.
But how much? Well, I mean, they did go back through training though. Like
that's what I'm saying. I don't remember
and
how
had
long.
to get carved again. So
Exactly.
who knows? I mean, that could be a whole nother year. In which case, if she was pregnant and ran off, and then he got captured, he was gone for a year, and then let's say a year went by of training and healing and all of that before they go to war. Kid could be over 2.
Yeah, she doesn't really allude to exactly when. She just says, "You lied to me for 6 years. I didn't want to lie to you." But by the time they actually like, do we assume that it happened the first time they really like consummated their thing?
Yes. The only
Yeah.
time that they talk about in the book, yes.
Yeah, right. That's it.
I also think that the mom knew. I think Darrow's mom knew.
Oh yeah, it says that in the book.
Yeah. It says
Oh,
Yeah, because she's there.
I missed that part. All right.
Yeah, she was like
That's
Didn't
asking the
retain that
mom
part.
if
My
she
mother
should
joins them now
tell-
on the ramp.
right.
Yeah.
And the mom's the reason she didn't tell him because she said he wouldn't do what he needed to do if he knew he had a child.
Did not retain any of that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's that scene where he walked in and Mustang was teary-eyed with the mom, and you're like, "What's going on
Yeah.
here? Why are they so chummy?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I
Oh.
figured, but
Wow. I don't know why I didn't pick up the fact that Victor and Severo were both there. So Cavax exits the ship with Dancer, Victor, and Severo. So Severo finds out even before Darrow does.
Wait, where's Harmony and Holiday?
Good question.
Holiday was their Earth buddy, country Earth buddy from the South,
Yeah.
and then
we just
Harmony is the one who flipped on him, right?
yes. Harmony was the one that was son of not son of Ares, but
With
yeah, son of
Dancer
Ares.
initially.
yeah.
Right.
Where's she
Yeah.
at? Where's she been?
I don't know, but I hope she got her comeuppance.
Hold on. Didn't
Who's
she
the one
get
who died in the jail from Victor's sister?
No.
No, that
Who
was
was that?
She was one of the original wolves,
yeah,
howlers.
correct. Yeah. Yeah, that was Thistle or
Pickles.
That's
Thimble or
it.
something. Yeah.
Pickles.
I'm eating fried pickles right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, good question.
Because that could be a catalyst for or a whatever for the next book. We have Dancer. I don't know where Harmony is, and they're kind of at odds now, not in alignment. So maybe Dancer is
Mm,
trying to rebuild and running that whole thing while our main character peeps are doing family life, or trying to balance that at least. And then Harmony is out there being like, I want it that way. So
tell me why. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Well done.
I don't think any of them are enjoying family life. I think the 10 years in between has just been a rebelling, and like, I mean, winning that one war does not win the entire war. I mean, there's
right,
so
there's
much that
still
you
a
have to do to
golds after
reform.
golds.
well, okay,
Um,
so how many planets are there that are colonized or moons or whatever? Like who's to say they don't go off to a different place and say, peace out, Mars. Like you suck. Yeah, you were my
fair.
home, but like you suck. So I'm gonna go be happy somewhere
It
else.
feels
I
And then get
like
pulled
if
back
don't
in.
guys, it feels like Mustang wouldn't allow them to just be like, "Hey, yeah, we killed the bad guys. Let's just walk." So I think
well, yeah,
they
because
have
like
a. It's just like constant rebuilding.
the whole point was, okay, you take down the hierarchy.
Right.
Are you just here to cause mayhem, or do you have a plan for all
Mm,
these people in the future? That was like such a big um, point that a lot of the characters were making was, what do we
that's true.
do
Are we
after we
just
win the
switching one
war?
for the other? Yeah.
Are we rebuilding? Are we supporting these people? Are we, making a real change that people can live with and not just causing death, destruction, and mayhem?
Right.
To be fair though, I feel like that's not what he signed up for. He did not sign up for,
No.
that role of being the person to implement the new order of things.
No.
He just
He's all
signed up.
hammer.
Yeah, he exactly. So that's on Dancer, and
Yeah.
well, it
I
was on Aries, but
I think he switched into that role himself, though. I feel like
mm,
he started taking responsibility for that, and I think it's one of the things that weighed heavy on him. And I think that he went from being, oh, I'm just going to blow this motherfucker up, to I'm actually going to like make a change and create a world where we can all be equals in. So I think he did that on his own, and I think that's the only
mm.
reason why Mustang continued to follow him.
We didn't touch on the fact that Mustang became the new like
Yeah,
sovereign or whatever.
the new regime.
Yeah,
The sovereign in training. Yeah. Yeah, that's
holding her
true.
friggin' head, walking past
She was
everyone.
Who saw
speaking
that coming at the beginning of the book series?
sips her drink.
Just saying, she's I just feel like she's been very manipulative and knew what she was doing this entire time. I'm not saying she might not be good intentions and all that, but I think that she was way too manipulative and played the game way too well to not end up where she did.
For sure. For sure.
So
What if
do we
she's
think
the
she's gonna
bad
be like
guy?
a yeah?
Yeah, they divorce and
I
then
would
it just
like I
becomes
would like that.
I would too. But even if she became the bad guy, they'd like fix it by the end. Blech. It wouldn't be death. It would be
Yeah.
like, I do love you. Never mind. Uh yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know where we're gonna go, and it's gonna be interesting for sure. I don't know what to
Mm.
think about the fourth book. Is anybody upset that we're not diving right into it?
No,
Okay, yeah, me either. Me
I
either. I
needed
need
a
a
break.
break.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I need a break.
I
I've
definitely need
been
a break.
I've been struggling not with Red Rising, because I am thoroughly enjoying the series, but I've been
Yeah,
struggling with not I'm very much a mood reader,
yeah.
and I've had such little time that the only books I've really been able to read are what we pick in book club and not my own books. And I've
Same,
been
same.
struggling with
Oh,
that. When we
Yeah,
took a week off, I was like, yes.
same.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that could be that could be a thing that we just work into the system too, is that like we take a week or two off here and there and just decide that like we need to
I
have
think
like personal breaks for whatever reason.
I think if we're going to go that route, then we go back to doing one book a month, maybe two a month, instead of
Yeah.
doing it in 2 weeks and break it up across 4 weeks. And that way, if we want to talk about, something bi-weekly, we can,
Right.
or, if we, I don't
I
know.
think doing dual books with everybody is difficult to
It's difficult.
juggle
It
because
is.
I'm a mood reader as well. So
Mhm.
like I'll just pull on vibes and I'll be like, yeah, this is what I want to read right now. And
Yeah.
it's
And
hard
Amy's,
if I've already got two other books that I'm
yeah.
And we
dedicated
don't
to.
read smut in this book club, so it's really hard.
That's why you read all the
I,
smut in your own time. I've finished like 5 in the past like 2 weeks.
Well, some of us have,
You know what?
careers.
I don't actually read smut. I mean, I know I read Sarah J. Maas, but like I kind
No,
of
that's
skip
not
over
smut.
that part. And then like I read the Fourth Wing, the Empyrean trilogy that's
I
out so
love
far.
that
mm,
series.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
I will die on this hill. I know that she's not the best writer. I know like there are some like actual writing issues, but the story itself and
the story, yes, but like
I could not put those books down.
the spice for me just pulls away from it sometimes.
mm.
Yeah.
The chair scene was amazing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Me and Lauren are over here like, no, give us more.
I mean, I'm I'm fulfilled in that area, so I feel like
Yeah,
that,
if I ever
you
date
know,
again, I'm just gonna
like
highlight them all and give them to my boyfriend.
Read this.
Yes.
well, you know what? I
My
have got
husband's
Tim.
not complaining.
He's listening. Tim is listening to A Court of Thorns and Roses with me. I've got
Okay.
the graphic audio on
Oh.
Spotify. So while he's
Mhm.
playing Ark, which if anybody else is a nerd and plays games, you should play Ark because it is gonna suck your life away from you. It's amazing. It's great. But so while he's playing Ark, just doing mindless stuff, I'll have the audiobook on, and then he's like, "What is this fairy crap? Or are you sure these aren't like vampires?" Like, and he hates vampires, and I love vampires, and it's great because he humors
Who
me.
hates vampires?
I
I
think it's
mean,
because he thinks the mainstream took a really great concept and turned it into this like really cheesy, sparkly Edward Cullen
Twilighty. Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Another
So
hill I'm gonna die on. Twilight's vampires are not vampires, they are fae.
yes, 1,000%.
I will die on this. I will die on this hill.
Yes, I'll climb it with you. Let's go. I'll pack refreshments.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not. They're not. I'm upset I've seen those movies.
The movies are awful. The books are actually really
The books
Amy
are
read the
way
books
better.
too.
The
I
books
believe
are way
that. But
better,
that's
but
true for most things, really, most
yeah.
stories. Amy finished, she had never read Pet Cemetery. She finished Pet Cemetery the other day and then immediately went to try to watch the movie and was just gagging the whole time because it's cut out so many good parts and there weren't all the
Yeah.
characters and the whole thing. And I was like, it was 89. Like they weren't making movies past an hour and 30 minutes. Like they tried to jam it all
good.
in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being said, understood. Yeah,
I get really
vampires.
mad at that though when they do that. Like, I just read Nine Perfect Strangers and then went to watch the series on Hulu, and I was pissed the whole time. I kept pausing every episode, like, "This is not in the book," and yelling, and Tim just is cackling at me, thinking it's hilarious how pissed off I am. So
So if there's a series that I start watching on film and really enjoy, I cannot read the books, any of them, until they're all in film adaptation. I just picked up Hunger Games for the first time ever this weekend.
Mm.
so did my son. He finished book one.
I did the same thing with Harry Potter. I watched all the movies except for the last movie before starting the series.
Yeah, I
I
really
probably
want to
read the
read the
series like
series now.
10 times before I watched any movies.
Yeah,
I know,
same.
but then the movies get ruined most of the time. It's like because then you're comparing them. Like
Yeah.
not that I think that I would have liked Twilight for the movies at all, anyways. But like I read the books like 17 times before seeing the movies, and the movies were just like,
The movies are cringe. The books are not as
they're
cringe.
so
Yeah.
cringe.
They are.
The books are not nearly as cringe as the movies.
Yeah.
So
I'm
was the
ashamed that
host
I
though,
admitted
which
I've
is
seen them.
Everybody's seen them. It's fine. So was the host, though. That was Stephanie Meyer's other book. That was her adult
Mm,
book that came out at the time. That book was amazing. It's one of my favorite love triangles that I have ever written in like a sci-fi fantasy world. And
mhm.
the book is so good. And the movie, I never even finished it. I turned it off halfway through.
I get
Mm,
that.
It was so bad. So bad.
Wait, can I go on another sidebar real quick?
please.
You just talked about like turning off something like a DNF. Like, do you guys have books you don't finish?
Yes, but I refuse to mark them as DNF. They just sit there and like, I'll pick them back up at some point.
Same, but I
Mm.
have one that is like it's a DNF for me because it's so. Hang on, I'll show you this book. Has anybody read this?
Florida Road Trip.
Never-
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Tim Dorsey, he's a Floridian. All his books are
Yeah.
about Florida. So, the first, like the second page, the first thing, like it's a mess. It's messed up.
Messed
about,
up
like,
like just kind of like twisted
Sex, drugs,
messed up,
murder.
or
Yeah, like sex, drugs, murder, Miami, cartel. And I was not, again, mood reading. I was not in the headspace for that when I picked it up. And like, so it's
Mm.
been sitting, not being able to touch it. So what do you do to get yourself in the headspace to pick up DNF books?
I haven't picked up any of mine yet, so I don't know.
I haven't
Because I
DNF'd
really
anything.
want
I have-
to, but
I have, I think, 5. Hold on, let me look at my Goodreads. Oh, fuck my phone.
I think if I counts.
I think I have 5. Some of them, though, I do plan on going back to. Like, some are just like I started like a Darcy Coates book, which I love Darcy Coates. I started one of hers a while back, but it just wasn't what I was in the mood for, and I just haven't been in the mood for that specific. It's kind of like a ghost ship type feel to it, like the movie Ghost Ship. And I just
Mm.
haven't been in the mood for that particular type of story, but I 100% plan on picking that one back up. And then I have one that I've made it like 3/4 of the way through. That's a horror book called Cuckoo, and it's not like the movie, completely different story. Um, uh, and it has to do with like it's like kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers in a gay reformative camp. And it started really, really strong and like and then it got like to such a high peak, like so early on that like it just like plateaued all the way across.
Yeah,
And I'm not
fell
even
flat.
like, I'm at the point in the book where it should be at the climax, but I feel like the climax already came. And I'm just like, I just couldn't finish reading it. I was just like, I feel like it's gone at such a steady pace that it kind of lost my interest.
Mm.
But I'll finish it at some point because I do want to know what happened.
See, that's me. Like I haven't DNF'd anything. I'm like, it's gotta get better. I have to know what happens. I just have to, I'll just finish it. I'll read it. And sometimes I get to the end, I'm like, well, that was stupid. But I usually always finish it.
But here we are.
this is the only one
Here we
I've
are.
not finished. The only one.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
you get
mean,
yourself back into the mood for something that you knew, like you know too much about already, sort of like how do you just decide? Like how many more
I
pages? Are
didn't.
you halfway through?
No, I'm 74 pages in. I'm this far.
Oh yeah, you
and is
got
it
some more
just like
reading.
it's just too twisty, like too fucked up for you, or
No, it's
Does it have like
It's
a lot
not
of
your
trigger
vibe.
warnings? Is it like,
It's just
no, that
not
stuff doesn't
something.
bother me. That doesn't
okay.
bother me. Like I'm not a trigger warning person. It's like it's a man's book. Does
I
that
was
make
just gonna
sense?
say that
yeah,
without saying it.
does.
Yeah.
It's a man's book, you know?
It
And
might be too much of a man's book for me. Like you were like, oh, it's like cartel and stuff. I was like, nope, don't want to read it. I'm good.
Tim recommended this to me. He's like, "Oh, you okay, read this is one of like I love this book. You can read
That's a
this
bro
book." And
book
I'm
for
like,
sure.
"Yeah, I'll read it."
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you have any books on your shelves that are like you've hyped up in your head so much that's going to be so great that you're now afraid to start it because you're just like, oh, what if it's not?
Yes. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Project Hail Mary, the rest of the Dune series, Leviathan Wakes. Yeah, I've got a ton of stuff sitting here that I need to read that I haven't. I also have
I,
stuff now that so Amy's on like this horror trail and she's
I love
crushing
it.
books right now. And like I can't keep up, which is another reason I'm totally down to just keep it to one book. Because I gotta double down in other areas. But um yeah, I think I've got some stuff that she's built up really heavy to me that I'm like, oh God, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. um but yeah, I think I haven't DNF'd anything. And so yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl has been talked about so much that like I'm afraid. Like hopefully it's as funny as everybody says because I'm like, oh, like I've been itching to pick it up. Um, that being said, we finished this. We're definitely taking a break from this right now. We're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks and weeks and weeks ago, we went to Senlin Ascends, got picked in a spin for a fantasy novel. Are we sticking to this now, or are we thinking we want to try to do something else? Where do we feel like we start now?
I vote for something not as immersive
Okay, if you want to do something chiller,
because I feel
if
like we
you're
all need
reading
kind of like a.
a breather.
Mm-hmm. And
This
I
can
feel like
go back to TBR.
I want that to be immersive,
Yeah.
like the way that words are hard. Red Rising was. But I feel like we've already gone through so many emotional transitions as a group with that series that we
Yeah.
kind of need to play it cool for a book or two with like a thriller or a horror or a one-off book that doesn't have a oh my gosh, what happens next tied to it. So that way we can kind of have like a palate cleanser between epic things, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
I'm 100%
So,
okay with that.
we spin the wheel, or do we just try to pick
Heck.
something?
Okay. Here's what I think about the wheel. And it's it's awesome. And I think that like it helps randomize things for everybody. But I also think that we have done a pretty good job of just like throwing out a ton of titles that like would even pique our interest a little bit. Like, oh, that
Mm-hmm.
sounded good. So maybe we'll put that in the list. And now we've got like 40 books on under every genre. And like the big ones, like some of like the bigger, like more exciting, definitely more popular titles just get washed out because then we pick
Mm-hmm.
up something that's like sort of out there. Like this one. I don't know anything about this book. It looks awesome. I can't wait to read it. But um no idea what that is, or even really what it's about other than the fact that I read the back. Um so
I
I'm
haven't even
down
done
to
that
do
yet.
yeah,
Me either.
I'm down to do a pick.
Okay.
Um
Oh, feel like I
if
need my
you if
library for this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also have how many do I have in there? So Pet Cemetery. We're thinking thriller.
Thriller or horror, I guess, because if we get into something sci-fi fantasy, chances are it's unless we're doing like
Okay.
a sci-fi horror, which I would
Right.
really love to do.
Right.
I'm
Uh
gonna throw my pick in actually.
why don't you
I am
suggest a book?
I'm open for whatever.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Right now I'm
This is my
listening.
vote. Ooh, oh
Ghost
yes,
Station.
you threw
I
that one
still
in
have
last time, right? Yeah.
yeah, so I this is still I'm still only like 100 pages in. Um, because we got so overwhelmed with everything else and we were doing two at a time and we were also trying to still read two and
Hmm.
three of this. And so like I just kind
Mhm.
of haven't been able to pick it back up. So this would be a Amy said this book is not only like clever, but also has like some good creepy moments in it. So I'm interested in that. What's yours about? What's it called? Ghost
Ghost
Station?
Station. It's a sci-fi horror by S.A. Barnes. She's really good.
Oh,
You want me to read the back?
sure. I was going to pull it up too. So
Psych- Psychologist Dr. Ophelia Bray has dedicated her life to the study and prevention of Eckhart-Reiser syndrome, ERS, the most famous case of which resulted in the brutal murders of 29 people. It's personal to her, and when she's assigned to a small exploration crew who recently suffered the tragic death of a colleague, she wants to help. But as they begin to establish residency on an abandoned planet, it becomes clear that the crew is hiding something. And Ophelia's
Mhm.
crewmates are far more interested in investigating the eerie ancient planet and unraveling the mystery behind the previous colonizers' hasty departure than opening up to her. That is, until their pilot is discovered gruesomely murdered. Is this Ophelia's worst nightmare starting, a wave of violence and mental deterioration from ERS, or is it something even more sinister? Terrified that history will repeat itself, Ophelia and the crew must work together to figure out what's happening. But trust is hard to come by, and the crew members aren't the only ones keeping secrets.
Ooh, it sounds like it could be
I
like a
read-
subplot to the 100.
Yeah, I read Dead Silence by her, which was also a sci-fi horror, and it had like a really cool I don't want to give it away. It had a really cool twist to what the sci-fi thing was that was going on. And I really liked it, so I'm excited to read that one.
It is free Kindle Unlimited.
It is.
Yes.
I like that.
So that's dope. Yeah. Um,
I'm also cool
I-
with earpick too. So
but
I have
I'm pretty sure this is harder to get a hold of. And I'm going to look real quick. But I think that
I am
it's
gonna
harder. Good.
I'm gonna throw in one more horror. I've already read this,
Yeah.
but I'm happy to read it again. It is a very quick read, even though it's kind of thick. And it's The Haunted Forest Tour by Jeff Strand. It is my favorite book by Jeff Strand. He is sarcastic, dark humor. All of his books are horror. And it is extremely, you will laugh as well as cringe. And it was really great. I read this, I think, in like one sitting because I just couldn't put it down. And most of his stuff
Ooh,
is
Whacker.
usually on Kindle Unlimited as well.
Why are you? Sorry, I'm having a meltdown here.
You're good.
Okay, boo boo, boo boo, boo boo, boo boo. I love you. Good, come on. Okay, out you go. A kid walking around with a fake knife. Um,
That's a sword.
yeah, it it's like a big butcher knife that he had
Oh.
when he dressed himself up like Jason Voorhees when he was like 4. Hilarious. All right, so yeah, The Last Days of Jack Sparks is available on Kindle, but you'll pay $10 for it. They do have it on audiobook, or it's like $18 paperback. So truly, the other one. What was your second option?
Uh, The Haunted Forest Tour by Jeff Strand.
Abstract. Haunted Forest Tour. Did anybody have a preference on any of those? Oh, no cat hair.
You want to roll a dice?
Yeah,
Flip a coin.
every day of my life. I just so happen to have one right here. Which reminds me, I'm way behind on this.
Same.
Way behind.
I haven't finished making my character yet.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no, I actually was today. I was watching Critical Role. I was watching the first
Oh,
campaign
so
from
good.
him. I'm like midway through the first campaign, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't even finished that. So I picked it back up. I was watching it on YouTube. That's great.
Let's see. All right. So,
Which ones are we rolling for? All three?
all three. So what we'll do is we'll
Okay.
do
One.
What?
Divide
how
them
many
up.
di-
1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
4,
1,
5, and
2, and
6.
3, and then give them each two chances. So yeah. So we'll do. I'm gonna forget, so I'm gonna write it down.
1 and 3 is
1 and
Jack,
4.
whatever. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
1 and
one-
4. Sorry, 1 and 4.
Yeah.
1 and 4 is Jack Sparks. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
2 and
2 and
5.
5, Ghost Station.
Mhm.
Station. Good Lord. No, 3 and 6 is haunted something or other. Haunted
Forest Tour.
Forest Tour. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
That one like is piquing my interest. I'm kind of rooting for that. Not gonna lie.
It's so good. It's so good.
They're away for me to. Oh yeah, cool.
And while you're rolling, I'm just gonna say if you like that one, there's also Ferocious and it's zombie animals in the woods. It's fucking great.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go.
One.
Damn.
All right.
Well, that's
Why
a
are you saying
decent.
damn?
Well, so I'm just concerned that like it'll take everybody a little bit to possibly get your hands on a copy of this.
Why?
That's my
Amazon's
only.
got everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Audiobook.
It is available audio for sure. Okay, so then are we down for this? The Last
Yes,
Days of
that's what the
Jack
dice say.
Sparks?
That's what we're doing.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. All right.
High
So
five,
that's
team.
All right. Beautiful. You somehow weasel your way into every episode. Say hi. They're
Would
all
it be
waiting.
an episode if she didn't? At
No.
this point?
Yeah.
At least
I
she's
feel like she's
clothed
like our
this time.
mascot now.
Right?
Yeah, you roll a dice. Go ahead. I can't even get that back in the back. Okay, cool. Any other spring cleaning stuff we need to do at all? Does anybody have anything coming up or a day you might need off or any of that jazz? It's 3, baby.
I
Yeah.
still have no life, so
Yeah.
I just working my butt off. I don't know.
Yeah.
How
We
No money.
how fast are we reading the Jack? Are we
Good
doing it for the
question.
month? Are we doing 2 weeks?
Good question. It's pretty easy reading and it runs approximately or exactly 376 pages. So it's not like super deep. And quite honestly, this copy I have has pretty huge font. So
I would say ask Amy how she would split it up
yeah.
because she's
Okay.
finished it and be like, hey, where do you think good stopping points are in the book? If she has any thoughts on it, that way, it's
okay.
from somebody who's read it and experienced it can kind of guide on like, oh yeah, no, stop after, the first 10 chapters, or no, you're going to want to read the first like 12 chapters.
Yeah,
before
and I'm trying
stopping.
to see if he did parts. I can't remember. I literally need to just start it over at this point. Chapters are lengthy on top. Okay. Yeah, so this guy's funny. This Jason Arnott guy is supposed to. So apparently, he's a British author and scriptwriter. His background is in journalism. He's worked on magazines such as Heat, Q, The Word, Kerrang, SFX, and Doctor Who magazine. He has written for the BBC, Radio 4, and the official tie-in fiction for Doctor Who and Friday the 13th, but The Last Days of Jack Sparks is his first and only novel, which is entirely Jason's own fault, though some may prefer to lay the blame on Jack. Cute. Yeah, it's good. It's clever. He's also like kind of edgy and he's a little bit bitter. Bitter? I don't know. Anyway, you're gonna love it. It's really good.
British? Is he British?
Yes.
So he's just a little
Yes.
bit British. He's not bitter.
He's just
He's
a-
just
Yeah, I didn't say it. You did. Yeah. So yeah, I think I know we'll like it. Okay, cool. So grab a copy. Let's do. Hey, babe, can you hear me? No, she's got her mom is here. Babe, I got a question for you. The group is reading The Last Days of Jack Sparks as our next book. Did you hear that?
No.
She goes, what? Huh? OMG. So the question we have for you is, how long do you think we should take to read it? Is it just like split it in half and do 2 weeks, or how do you think we should split it up? You basically read it in the night. Yeah. She said she read it in 20 hours. It seems wildly too specific. I think that what we'll do, what do you think? Should we split it like in half? Do you think it's like the kind of thing where if we cut halfway through to like maybe chapter 208 in chapter 10, 208 is the end of chapter 9, chapter 10, and then where are we at there? And it's almost 400 pages. So let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and let's do it in 2 weeks. We'll do half. We'll go, yeah, chapter 208. Yeah. Do you remember specifically? Yeah, it's fast. And yeah, that's what I think too. These 3 will definitely crush it. I'm trying to um let's read through chapter 10, end on page 222 for next week, and then we'll do the other half, which puts us just under, yeah. So that's two, yeah. So we'll be a little bit shorter for the second week, but then the second week is always nice. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it.
Well,
Are
depending
you gonna
on
reread it?
how Amazon is
No.
in your area, it takes roughly, right now it's on about a 2-day delivery for Amazon.
Yeah. It's a pretty it flows. It's a pretty easy read, and I'm kind of like half skimming the end of this chapter, and I think that's like a pretty cool spot to stop. So, knowing what I already know, let's go ahead and do that. So again, it's through chapter 10.
Okay.
Stop at chapter 11. It's approximately
Page
222
222.
pages. 222.
222. We can do that.
222. Yeah, that looks like a good spot. Okay, cool. I'm stoked. I think this will be fun. Okay,
Yay.
let's make a short plan. We've got 2 weeks, and then we want to do again. We want to try to do something else a little bit light before we get into anything really more
I
like
don't know. I think we can
Send
vote on
Ascends,
that
or
when we
we'll go back to the wheel maybe at that point. Okay,
Well,
we can
yeah,
vote on it when we get there.
yeah, cross that
awesome.
bridge when we get to it.
Okay, deal. The Last Days of Jack Sparks is our next book. 222 pages. Yeah, this hopefully you can get it pretty quick. Again, Amazon said was what?
Like 2 days.
$10 Kindle.
Depending,
2 days.
it's
If I do this,
$18 for the paperback.
yeah, 1738 at 30% off. Does say 2 days, so you can get it by Tuesday if you ordered it right now in the next 3 hours. Okay, I'll put up a post on the page. Do you all are we still happy with the fact that it's on Discord? Do you feel like do we need to change anything otherwise?
I like this
We're
word,
happy.
so I'm
It's
happy
cool.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Okay, cool. Awesome. In that case, this was without a doubt my favorite read we've done so far. Just the whole series. I don't know if I want to pick one over any of them, but it was amazing and it was fun to do it with you guys. So I'm glad we did. I hope we get to do more like this stuff because that was just amazing for me. Okay, cool. Grab your copy. Let me know what you think. I can't wait to hear about it. And we will see you next Sunday. This has been meeting number 13 of the Shadow Society Book Club. I love you all. Have amazing weeks. Make lots of money and do cool things. We'll see you next time.